A conscience like that managed to exist within an institution without being bound to it, fulfilling the necessary duties due to people's demands, while embracing other practices. If you read the book, What Would Tell If I Were Francis of Assisi, you'll learn what he did. He dealt with everyone, he knew everything that was going on. The most important thing is to be aware of your surroundings and to interact with people efficiently. No matter where you are, it matters what you are. That's why we're building Sao Damião, because after many astral projections and many studies, I also read many fictional stories about Francis of Assisi. And he's a conscience that has nothing to do with what people say. He knew exactly what he was doing. He understood everything. So sometimes he talked about God. He had to talk about God. He spoke of Christ. He had to talk about Christ. But he was so intelligent that the first thing he did was to take a vow of poverty. Look how clever he was. With the vow of poverty, the church could no longer trap him, because the church took money from him. And if you read the book, you'll see that he said, "I'd like the Pope to concede me one thing." I want to take the vow of poverty. And he asks to talk to the Pope. That's real. When he meets the Pope, he says, "No, it can't be like that." It was very inconvenient for the church to lose access to his family money. But then he stays in a shelter, you'll read about that. He then leaves his body and goes to talk to the Pope. That fat Pope, who is lying there. He arranges for the Pope to leave the body as well because he is so numb he can't get out. But Francis knew that the separation could be provoked by accelerating the chakras of the other person. He spoke with the Pope, and the following day, the Pope summoned him. The idea he conveyed to the Pope in their out-of-the-body encounter was, "I will save the Catholic Church, because it is in ruins." And the Pope called him and said, "My son, you can take the vow of poverty." He managed to manipulate the Pope, who had no idea of what had taken place. See, they could not charge him anymore. Now look at the guy's competence, who was able to build everything he built. In an age when the church carefully checked whether or not priests were receiving any money, all he received was chickens and porks. He'd stand there holding a pig with his hands. Imagine the precarious sanitary conditions back then. But then, he did things through lucid astral projections. And it's crystal clear everything he did. Even when his father was ill, he kept company to his father, and at the same time he walked with another friar. And I mean, nobody noticed anything. They would say, "Where were you?" But he was there. Then Clara simplified things for him because she knew exactly what went on. Both Clara and the other woman who lived with him recognized his actions. Perfect. Coffee for everyone now. We'll be back in a bit. You can just pay attention to the physical stuff, without really understanding who you are, or you can have a good notion of your whole existence. Who were you in another life? You should know a lot more about yourself. You can't limit yourself to the line of thought. Don't see past reincarnations, because otherwise you'll find out that you made mistakes.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.